Hi, Leo. So, this is your February love tarot, and already I'm getting some odd symptoms here. Compromat. Somebody's compromised. Somebody is compromised. I don't know what that means. I mean, like, we had such a lovely Cancer reading. But you know me, Pochamuchka. I'm going to ask too many questions. Somebody's Russian. Somebody knows how to speak Russian. Somebody's an interpreter. Somebody's multilingual, trilingual. Somebody just speaks a lot of language. Pochamuchka. Compromat. Somebody knows too much, so why'd they hire the psychic? I almost couldn't say that. Somebody didn't want to say that. Somebody's like, oh shit, we hired a psychic. Okay. One of my own, the other one, I shouldn't say the name. The psychic is working somewhere where they're probably not going to be happy that he's a psychic, or they probably figured that out. Somebody doesn't like you, Leo. All right. Sorry to have to start, what do you want me to do? Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. I'm not going to say a word. Oh, okay. So, all right. So we've got for the romance angel, we've got honeymoon in reverse. And I don't usually read these in reverse or upright, but I'm going to for this one because it was in the reverse. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. The honeymoon is over. Somebody's honeymoon is over. The honeymoon phase is over. The honeymoon period is over. What do you want me to do? Compromise? Somebody's compromised. Somebody wanted to blackmail somebody. Pochamuchka. Somebody's asked too many questions. Pochamuchka. Somebody asked too many questions. Maybe, the other side needs to understand that you don't need to ask any questions. You already know. Pochamuchka. Pochamuchka. Somebody. Ooh. Sing out loud. You know that somebody is singing now. So somebody, this is, like I said, I've told you in the other videos, take what resonates. You'll know what part is yours. All right. This is a general collective reading for the sign of Leo. I never know what's going to come out. If you'd like to hire me, now you're not going to hire me to do anything too creepy. Okay. So if you'd like a personal coaching session, if you'd like an astrological interpretation, if you'd like your transits identified, if you would like a personal tarot reading or a pre-recorded tarot video, please visit ritayanez.com. And if this video is entertaining to you, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and let me know what you think. And if you'd like to leave a comment, you can feel free to do that. Or if you'd like to tell me about your experiences, I will read them. Pochamuchka, where are we going with this? I'm going to have to go to the Cosmic Tarot. Ugh. I almost started off with the curiosity, and I think that's where we're going to go. Curiosity killed the cat. Did it? Didn't kill this cat. All right. So somebody knows too much. Somebody's a psychic. Somebody didn't know that they were hiring a psychic. We're involved with the psychic, and curiosity, we get the misunderstood card. So somebody's like, well, you didn't understand me, or perhaps they just couldn't understand you. The real version never made it past the rumors. Now they're stuck defending what they never said. All right, so immediately we've got the energy, and I was going to start again, like with the Celtic cross, and then jump into the rest, but I felt like I had to go into the compromat, right? I had to go into the cosmic. Oh, the curiosity. Okay. What's happening here? Well, somebody feels stuck and they don't know what to do now that you know everything. How about you already knew it all to begin with? How about you already walk around knowing what you need to know? And if you need to know anything else, you'll tap into it. Somebody else knows what I'm saying when I say you've been projecting out of your body ever since childhood. There's going to be a few of you that know exactly what that means. And most of you will understand that. Or when I say, oh boy, I don't think you can hear this, but I'm listening to a police siren right now. Somebody's in trouble. They are compromised. There is the compromat, and I feel like somebody else tried to throw a couple of other people under the bus thinking that somehow that was going to ameliorate their problems, and it didn't. It actually drew attention to them. Somebody's a freaking coward is what they are. Mm-hmm. Mm. Somebody didn't understand you. I think that depending on your age, okay, if I'm speaking to a very young group of you, which is often the case, you need to understand that the most important thing is for you to just be okay with understanding yourself and being patient while you understand yourself and developing a thicker skin. Okay. So this guy here has tattoos like all over the place. And I know that that's kind of like a new thing. It's not my thing, but it might be somebody else's thing. This guy could be a musician. Okay. Somebody could be a musician. Somebody could be a percussionist. Somebody could be a pianist or a drummer. Develop a thicker skin. I have these conversations with one of my sons all the time that, the younger generations, you're just too thin-skinned, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Keep in mind that I was born in '68, and you see all those funny things about the crazy things, quote unquote, crazy things that, kids in the '80s were okay with, and we turned out just fine and drinking from a hose and all that stuff when we were little. And, there are harsher things that people around the world have to deal with. And I'm not trying to ameliorate or somehow minimize your experiences, but at some point we have to grow up, right? I am not a fan of coddling and babying and overdoing any of that because you just keep um, promoting a generation of thin skinned people that cannot handle shit. Okay. And I don't know, I'm channeling somebody right now who could sound like a tattooed pirate because I'm saying that you've got to get thicker skinned about things. Like if somebody doesn't understand you, that's okay as long as you understand yourself. If you don't understand them, don't spend too much time trying to understand other people. Understand yourself. If you are very young, get to know yourself. You'll figure yourself out as you go along. Just don't do anything crazy. Stay away from chemical drugs. Don't screw up your brain. If you're going to do any recreational drugs that, like if you like the ganja or whatever you do, make sure that you are in a state where it's legal and don't get in trouble with law enforcement. Okay. All right. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to preach too hard, but some of you need to hear that. I understand what it's like to be in pain. I've had to work through a lot of physical pain in my life and learned even at later stages, I'm just not going to do the thing that exacerbates my physical pain. Okay, there are different times that I have for different causes until I figured out that other people didn't care about the cause that I cared about. Okay, that, sometimes even in business, people don't care about the business as much as you're going to. And then at the end of the day, is it your business? Does the business owner, does the management care about the business the way that you do? Probably not. Often, yes, but then just as often, no. Oh, I don't know why somebody needed to hear that, but kompromatem puchamuchka, puchamuchka, puchamuchka. Okay. What else do we have to know about this spirit before I get into the Celtic cross using the cosmic tarot? Because that's the way it's going to go, Leo. Let's see if we can lighten this thing up because I need to reverse this. The honeymoon is over. Something isn't over though, but you need to let go of this if this is your honeymoon. And a honeymoon period is something that could be significant. It doesn't just have to be a honeymoon that is, for a wedding, a marriage. Okay. Don't be thin-skinned, you gotta develop a thicker skin, When I was a kid, we used to say, "Sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt me." Well, now if somebody throws a rock at you, they're gonna end up in prison, okay? They're gonna at least go to jail. They're at least gonna have to go to court, and the very least, you're gonna press charges, okay? And I'm not saying that it's okay to say words to people because, words can be assaults as well. But you have to care less about what other people think of you. Because I'm not just speaking to the younger generation, because there's a whole faction of people that are old ass people that are older than I am that still care about what other people think of them and their careers and what they've done. At the end of the day, they're all going to be dead and they're all going to be buried somewhere or cremated or in, shot off into outer space, and no one cares. Okay, what matters is your spiritual evolution and what's coming after that. Live your life because Earth is school. This is not the final destination. Somebody understands final destination consequences. Look at what I'm telling you. Somebody's going to get in trouble. Kompromat. Pochamuchka. Okay, so consequences. Somebody could be actually in jail or expects that they're going to get into so much trouble that it might as well be prison. Okay, no more running. The karma is catching up and someone's being held accountable. I know what I know when I'm telling you things like this. Pochamuchka. Keep asking questions. If you need to ask the questions. If people don't want to answer the questions, there you go. If people shut off communication from you, don't want to talk, can't talk, are resistant or difficult, or like, let's just say it's as easy as you work with somebody who is, let's just put the word out there. somebody who is a nightmare bitch. All right, maybe you work with somebody that you like. You go home and you're like, "Look, that dick." Or I'm definitely channeling somebody who knows what this is all about, and I'm going to find out what this is all about because I cannot be blackmailed in any way. Compromat does not affect me. There's nothing you can do anyway. That's why you got to keep everything clean, do the best you can, and just be a normal human, and then nobody can hurt you. All right. Anybody tries to do anything to you, you know that there's always going to be some form of legal recourse. Pochamuchka. Let's see if we could get one more. Oh, got the title card. Somebody with a title is significant. We're going to take these because they all flew out. I'm going to take them all. Inner turmoil. Somebody is in a level of inner turmoil. They may be smiling on the outside, but they're spiraling on the inside, pretending everything's fine because they're in crisis. And this could be somebody that you know. It doesn't have to just be you. It could be somebody who is connected to you. This could be a story that you know about somebody else's story because of a secret affair. That is terrible. I've never had that card come out. Okay, so they thought they could hide it, but the whispers are growing louder. Affairs rarely stay hidden forever. Somebody's part of the LGBTQIA plus and whatever the hell you want to call that, because I really don't care. I care about humans. I don't care what you do. I'm from a different generation. How about I just don't want to know about it? And then we have in reverse throwing shade. Shade doesn't always look like aggression. It hides in backhanded praise, tone, and just joking energy. Okay, so that's over for somebody. That crap has stopped. And then we have the double life in reverse. I'm telling you that somebody's on the down low. Somebody's freaking gay. All right. Just and I know that there's a lot of young people who are highly confused. I think that's because we've given people too many freaking flavors of the freaking Skittles rainbow. And I'm not saying that I know what's good for you, what isn't. In fact, I don't know you. This is a general collective reading, and this message is meant for somebody, or parts of it will be for different people. But the double life is exposed. Somebody is juggling stories, identities, or relationships and hoping no one notices the overlap. In reverse, we notice. Okay, so some of you could have had a relationship with somebody that you thought was straight, heterosexual, and you find out that they're just completely flaming out there. They're just completely gay, and they were lying. And, but it also could be that because the honeymoon is over, that there's a married couple or somebody that's in a high level commitment, a significant commitment, even if it isn't a legally binding contract. And then finally, somebody catches them having that gay affair. This won't resonate with everybody, but who knows? It may resonate with a huge faction. Okay. So now that we've got that out of the way, this is disgusting already, and I'm not sure which way I'm going to go with this. Somebody doesn't know which way they're going? I have seen this before. So okay, so these fell out. I've got somebody needs to watch their kidney health. We've got kidneys. I'm just going to take some hints. And I am going to say the words. Okay, so there is a sperm gargling slut of a Libra out there. Sorry, I channel these at different times. And when I channel them, I take note of them. All right, so don't shoot the messenger. Somebody wants to shoot the messenger. Shut up. All right, shut up. This card shouldn't be in here, but it is. I give myself permission to surround myself with those who love and support me. There are people around you that neither love nor support you. And I am giving you permission to F them. You don't care. And don't F them. People have diseases. People have weird things. I'm not telling you to live like, well, the world is on fire in some places. You'll never guess who I bumped into. I'm going to put that right under secret affair. I'm actually going to put this one back over here under inner turmoil. Okay, so the affirmation, I give myself permission to surround myself with those who love and support me. Somebody's born in the year of the ox. Somebody is stubborn like an ox, But in their head, they're like, and I'm hungry like the wolf. So somebody is like really immature. Somebody is immature. I don't know how old anybody is yet, but we will see. Wow, I'm really feeling aggressive about this message. because somebody has compromising information. Did I not tell you? Look at the cards that we have. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Angels, for making this disgusting story exceedingly clear. The honeymoon is over because somebody is misunderstood. They misunderstood you, or they're misunderstood, or they don't understand themselves and aren't doing the shadow work. And now they have consequences, and there's inner turmoil because they were caught in a secret affair. And, somebody's been throwing shade and has a double life, but that's over because it's exposed. Okay? Somebody's really sorry that they hired you, that you're a psychic, or that they underestimated you, misunderstood. Kidneys, somebody's kidneys are significant. Okay, so I'm just saying, watch kidney health. Maybe, sperm gargling slut Libra. I hope YouTube doesn't catch me for that one. But what am I going to do? This is for entertainment purposes only. And, I don't know who's gargling what. Okay, but I'm thinking about Rod Stewart. I'm thinking about gay people. I'm thinking about some kind of orgies. I'm thinking about something that has to do with the porch mason. I'm thinking about somebody wanting to level up. I'm thinking about somebody who's like some kind of a double agent, triple agent. Somebody could be multilingual, trilingual. Somebody could be bi-coastal, bi. Somebody lives in the country. Somebody lives outside of the country. Somebody lives everywhere, goes everywhere, does everything. And if I am going too fast when I'm channeling, feel free to slow me down by clicking the little gear icon somewhere and choosing a little bit slower speed. Somebody needs to slow the hell down because, we've got, okay, so now this card's in the wrong orientation. Somebody's in the wrong orientation, or somebody doesn't want to divulge their orientation. It's out. Okay? We already know. No fear. They know you don't fear their retarded bullshit. Okay, so remember, these are channel messages. I don't mean to offend with any of these words. It's not necessarily the vernacular. It's also my era. Somebody understands, or somebody understands, or something about the era. Something is about the era. Somebody could be the Eras Tour. Somebody's name could be Taylor. Somebody could be Swift. Somebody could be a Swift Taylor. Somebody's got a flabby ass. This, for some reason, the hints are just going to be chomp, chomp, chomp. Okay. Somebody needs to do squats. Somebody needs to work on that flabby ass. What is that? Somebody's sucks. Okay. Flabby ass. All right. I don't know why it's important, but only Spirit knows. All right. Let's see. Maybe Spirit wants us to laugh a little bit because this is ridiculous. People just need to be who they are. I'm not going to go into some kind of politically correct statement here. I'm just reading the message. I'm just the messenger. Come for me. I'm going to come for you. But the way I come for people is a lot different than the way they come for me. You don't have to come for anybody. That's the thing. Somebody's now going to try to take revenge on you, knowing that they can't touch you. Can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Somebody's actively trying to come for you. We are going to get into this reading. We are going to get to that cosmic tarot. And I'm sorry this has to go this way, but I never know how it's going to go. I just don't. Actively trying to come for you. But look I'm going to slide that over here. You don't have any fear because you know that this is retarded bullshit. Flabby ass, because they're just full of crap. Somebody's just flapping their gums and nothing they say matters. Woo! Somebody's in their Saturn return or experiencing a Saturn return-like situation. Saturn is a lord of karma. Somebody's getting karma. Somebody is outside of the country. Like I said, somebody's on the inside, on the outside. They go to the outside, they're on the inside. They could be residing in different, oh, Lord, and look at the card that's under there. Cannot re-enter the USA, and something about matricide. Oh, okay, so something, I'm going to take off my jacket here, or my sweater. Something about matricide is significant. Matricide, if you don't know, is taking out your own mother. And it doesn't have to be literal. It could be figurative. Maybe somebody did take out their mother. Maybe somebody's connected to somebody who took out their mother. Maybe the karma and the backfire is that their mother was taken out. God forbid. You have no power over me. I'm going to leave this over here next to no fear. They know you don't fear their retarded bullshit because they have no power over you. They have no power. And look at this. This card is a misprint, and on the back it says they took you for granted, right? But on the other side, it says, stop second guessing yourself. You know this, Leo. Some of you are going on a spiritual journey. It doesn't have to be a physical journey, but somebody is like noticing that their gifts are just like ramping up and ramping up. Somebody's gifts are expanding. It's because you're looking at things just flatly, like this flabby ass, that you're just realizing life is what it is. Life be lifing, for those of you that will understand that. Okay, that's why you have to have a thicker skin. Don't let people get to you. If somebody tries to hurt you or they did, just turn around and walk away. Uh, Shut them down by not giving them an energetic exchange. Do you understand me? For those of you that are very young, I feel like I'm talking to children, but it's not. Remember, it's just because I'm much, 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 much older than you, probably. Okay. And for those of you that are about my age, you'll just kind of laugh when I say that. Let's see if we can get any other hints. Who's gargling what? And why is there a slut Libra? Why does Libra have to be the slut? Well, I guess that's choice. Not a jealous bone in you. Okay, so I'm going to take that as you've got a Libra that's out there that is very jealous of you, and it could be an air sign. Doesn't have to be a Libra, but it could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or you could just be dealing with an air sign or somebody that is coming across. I'm not hating on Libras because I've got a son who's a Libra, and I love him. He's adorable. I love Libras. They're sparkly, but when they want to get negative, you're not. Air signs can, especially a Gemini or a Libra, they're going to gossip. All they do is gossip and talk shit. They don't like to look in the mirror. There's a hotel set up. Somebody tried to screw you up at a hotel. Somebody's trying to set you up at a hotel. Somebody could try to do this to you because I don't know the timeline for you. Okay? I don't know the timeline for you. But not sure where to put that. I'm going to put that over here with kidneys. You need to just be very careful. Kidneys for me could also mean if it isn't about kidney health that you would be aware of. Kidneys are filters, right? So watch a hotel setup or going somewhere with people and having a drinky drink and somebody could put something in your food or your drink. And I'm not talking about like necessarily like black magic stuff, although I'm going to look at this card because look, we got the closet. A dark spiritualist, witch, or warlock. I'm going to put that right over here because this could be a black magic backfire. If you want me to go to the woo-woo side, I'm going to do the woo-woo side for you here. Somebody needs to hear this. Okay, black magic never works. Always backfires. Anytime you go into the darkness, anytime you turn to that, there is going to be travel is significant for somebody. And I'm going to put that next to cannot re-enter the USA. Somebody's on the outside, can't come back in, or somebody is restricted from flying. Anyway, back to the black magic thing, like I'm going to speak very specifically about black magic in the literal sense, black magic as in voodoo, santeria, on the negative side, like palomonte, palomayombe, I'm just talking about anything negative, okay? Any of those religious, let me do air quotes, practices that do negative things or wish negative things onto people and actively do something like burn something, bury something, do something. Okay, that always backfires. It never works. What will happen is if you want to call that energy will place an illusion around that person to make them think that this is working, but the backfire is the energetic payment to that energy, what they want. Okay? I can't get into everything because then we're going to be here for hours and hours. And I'm already like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, so let's see if we can get anything else. Somebody's working with somebody that just cannot stand them, and I'm really sorry about that. Look, just go in, do your job, be happy about it, get your paycheck. If it becomes so difficult for you, or not difficult, but if it becomes so uncomfortable that it's affecting you, then find another job and leave. Don't stay there just to show like, well, since you don't like me, then I'm going to make you look at me. Yeah, nobody wins in that, and you don't care about winning or losing. You care about being happy, don't you? Emotional prick face Cancer. So there's an emotional prick face Cancer in here. So Cancer could also be a water sign. So we could have a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but I'm going to put this over here. And I was just talking about work. Pay attention to when I'm talking about something and which hints come out, okay? So we've got the sperm gargling slut Libra and the emotional prick face Cancer. Sorry, this is for entertainment purposes only, but those of you that know what this is will know what to do with this information, okay? I give myself permission to surround myself with those who love and support me. Okay, and don't tell anybody what you're doing. You don't have to tell anybody your moves. You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing, where you're going, who you're doing it with, but you do need to be careful because we do have the hotel set up. So, especially for you young people that don't have a lot of experience in the world, it doesn't mean that you're dumb. It just means that you are not as long in the tooth as some of us are. Okay, and even those of us that are longer in the tooth, there's a man with plastic surgery that could be significant. I think that this is the person who's a closet dark spiritualist witch or warlock. I think that this is an older person. Got another affirmation that shouldn't be in here. Two of them. We're going to take them. I give myself permission to be truly me, but I'm going to put this over here and I'm going to turn it in reverse because this man over here is not being himself. He's in the closet. He could be closeted in terms of his preferences. I give myself permission to see the perspectives of others. This is a person, I'm going to put it in reverse, who's very close minded and thinks that he is right all the time. I'm not going to go into the whole he, she, they, them, it because I'm not going to play that game. We're going to get through this message. The I'm sorry. We got the pick me prick Pisces. These cards are just spicy right now. I'm going to put that over here with the people that have no jealous bones. Okay, of course. So there's a Libra, a Cancer, and a Pisces that could be involved in something that really just stems from their jealousy. I don't know why the, sperm gargling slut Libra over there. Remember, it's not all Libras, it's not all Cancers, and it's not all Pisces. It's just whomever it is that aligns with your life situation for the parts that apply to you here. Watch that hotel setup. I'm telling you, somebody needs to be very careful with this hotel setup and the kidneys and misunderstood honeymoon in reverse. This could be a jilted lover situation where, obviously somebody was found, I wanted to say caught with their pants down. It's very obvious that I could say caught with their pants down, but I'm just, saying the way that it comes to me. Lord. Okay, let's get a few more and then we're going to move this quite along because this is already way, way annoying. These people are stupid and you know that. Okay, so horrible. These are horrible people. I'm going to put it over here with the Libra, the Cancer, the Pisces, the people that are interfering with your life. Now, if this is you and you're like, Rita, I'm the one that caught them having the affair. They know you know everything. What did I tell you? Your ops, your enemies, or the people that are working against you, for those of you that are experiencing this, I know that this is a love reading and this is kind of a love story gone wrong. They know that you know. That's the thing. They know that you know now. And even if you haven't caught them like that, even if this isn't directly affecting you yet, this hasn't come to pass, you would know if this is your story because you would already have been suspecting that somebody's either gay, or bi, or doing something really odd, something unfair to you, because nobody who's in a healthy monogamous relationship or decides to be in a relationship of any significance is going to go doing this unless they absolutely suck. And for that, why did they choose to be with you? And if this is one of those situations where somebody's having this inner turmoil because they're actively gay and they're actively coming for you, or somebody else isn't, it could be the person with such hatred is coming toward you, then why did they do this? They could have just let you go at the moment that they said that they had confusion. Or they could have said, hey, look, I'm confused. I don't know if I like chocolate cake or if I like vanilla cake. I don't know what I like. Well, then stay away from the rest of us who know, because we can tell. And some of us, okay. I was just trying to hear a name there. Paul is significant. The name Paul is significant. The name Tony is significant. The name Boney Maroney. Somebody's nickname could be Bones, Bone, Boney. Huh. Let's see what that is. Whole group of closeted people. It's like to me, it feels like a bunch of brothers, or the brotherhood is trying to keep their low down weird stuff. Now, brotherhood doesn't have to be a bunch of, porch masons all trying to get on the inside at the same time, or, being led into a pyramid scheme, to whatever, like, hey, if you do this, you do that, There are people that will get into this stuff in brotherhoods and kind of good old, it seems like good old boy stuff. It doesn't always have to be like groups or factions or, parts of some different secretive military type groups or, like that kind of thing. Sometimes it could just be like a group of friends, a friend group. Angel number 999 is significant. Okay, we're going to do that. And that'll be it for these hints because this is out of control. Jesus saw you cry and someone slept with a friend, enemy, or a coworker. Do you see this? Okay, let's see if we can get off of this scandal here. Some of this, in my opinion, this borders on the illegal. If you're in a marriage, a legally binding contract, there's a lawsuit already here. There's fraud, okay, misrepresentation, but this is in a marriage. This is actionable in court. If somebody knew that they were gay, but they messed with you and pulled you into this and you were in a relationship, or if they were bi, or they said like, I didn't know. Bullshit. Yes, you do know. Yes, you do know. Don't tell me that you don't know. Let me set these over here. This is crazy. This is like a country song. Somebody done somebody wrong song. Okay, don't make me sing. Somebody's singing though, singing like a canary because somebody's trying to throw a couple of other people under the bus so that they don't get so busted. Okay, I was going to say something else. I'm not going to say that. I am not going to say that. I wish I could tell you what I just heard, but I'm not going to say that because it is foul. Absolutely foul. Okay. Now the heat of that exchange is over. Let me put my sweater back on. Absolutely disgusting. Some people are just freaking freakish freaks. In fact, this is so freaky. I'm going to put these cards up, and I do not want to see that again. There's some cards in there I have never seen before. Absolutely. Somebody's a Trump supporter. Take that as you will. Please, please, this is not about politics, so don't come for me. I actually don't care about politics. I only care about having a healthy, happy, safe country, okay? And we will get there someday. It might be a few years before then, but we will get back to that kind of happy, healthy, safer place, okay? So honeymoon in reverse is what we're going to focus on. And No, I'm going to change this energy because it already made me feel a certain kind of way. So let's go to, I'm not going to go to the Cosmic Tarot. I'm going to go to Tarot of the Modern Witch. Before I could even start shuffling, I'm going to take it. I've got the Nine of Swords. Somebody's very unhappy. Somebody could be dealing with some depression. I'm going to try not to think about that message, that series of messages from before, because that was absolutely horrific. Somebody could be dealing with a level of depression. If you are suffering from depression, understand that you are not alone. Please get help for that if you feel like it's time. Now, if this isn't just situational and if this is about a situation, it will pass and you'll get over it. But if you find that you're spending an extended period of time in a really bad way, get a referral from your medical doctor to a therapist. If you don't have health insurance, you can call 211. I don't know in every state what the different numbers are, but you can call and say, hey, I need help and I'm not insured. Please help me. All right. Let's see what's going on. Some low down dirty dogs. Get off the damn porch. Get out. Ugh, just get away. I don't know who these people are. I don't want to know these people. Leo, you know these people, or you understand these messages or parts of these messages. And sometimes I'm just reading into the energy and I can feel what the other person is going through, even though it is general and collective. But I will go with whatever the Holy Spirit wants me to go with, whatever is the strongest message. But back to the Nine of Swords, please get professional help. There's nothing wrong with getting professional help. You can see a specialist, somebody that could help you, see a therapist, talk to your medical doctor, tell them that you need to talk this out with a licensed professional. Somebody rides motorcycles. Okay, so Holy Spirit, tell us why the Nine of Swords for Leo. Sunny Leo. I mean, we are coming off of that full moon in Leo, and it was particularly strong. Of course, we've got solar flares and lots of other activity going on, astronomical activity, all right, significant activity. So it was going to feel a little bit uncomfortable for you. Depending on your placement, you could be Leo sun, moon, or rising. You could also be a strong Leo placement. And perhaps you could have stelliums, all right? You could be a Leo midheaven, and this is happening in your work, your career. You, of course, can understand that I'm focusing on seventh house issues, which would be everything outside of you. You are the first house. Everyone else is in the seventh house, all right? Why the Nine of Swords? What is the problem here? We've got the Emperor as the challenge. And I picked this deck, but I wasn't thinking about how androgynous this deck could be. In fact, this chick's kind of wearing hair the way I do. But this is a woman, and this is Tarot of the Modern Witch, and this woman is in the Emperor's chair. Okay, but she is dressed very masculine. Okay, a little bit of that androgyny. I don't think I'm going to overfocus on that, but the challenge is somebody who's in a position of authority or should have been in a position of authority is the challenge. There is an authority that is challenging you, and this would be significant authority. Okay, so if we think about significant authority, this could be somebody's husband. If we don't get gender specific, we haven't seen the Empress yet. This is supposed to be a male energy card, but this could be somebody's boss, the owner of a company. This is somebody who could sit in a position of authority, a leader, like a judge. Okay, this is not, I don't really want to say, yeah, this is kind of judge energy. Let's see. But the challenge is a person. It could be a system or an institution. Maybe you feel like I want to stick it to the man because the man is keeping me down. But the Nine of Swords is a pretty significant heartache. Okay, so this is mental turmoil, not just heartache. This is inability to sleep. If we think about the black magic kind of thing and the fact that this chick is holding an ankh, and is in the city, this very well could be work related with that chair, which looks like it could be made of concrete, but it's kind of shining to me. It could be that somebody's trying to hold a glass ceiling over your head and saying, well, I have the scepter. All right. What is the foundation of this situation, Holy Spirit? Two of Wands in a kind of challenging orientation. So the Two of Wands is needing to make a decision, right? Let me show you the art there. So we've got this beautiful chick who's looking at her cell phone, and she's like, well, I got to do something. I'm kind of deciding what to do. I'm not sure. I'm kind of doom scrolling on my phone, but there's really nothing more I think I can do at this early stage. So, for some of you, you're going to understand that this is about a job or a brand new relationship or a new relationship or a partnership with someone, but needing to take action and make a decision to at least move the goalpost farther is going to be significant. And here we go with that motorcycle, almost came out in a challenging position. So the chariot we've got here, I'm going to leave it in its challenging orientation. They're kind of sideways. Somebody with blonde hair could be significant. Somebody who thinks that they're a witchy witch. Okay, or this could just be about movement, moving forward and feeling like, oh my gosh, is it really a glass ceiling? Bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands with a black cat. Somebody could have a cat. Somebody could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or this could, I was supposed to put that out there. Well, no, I didn't because it was bottom of the deck. So Chariot in reverse, somebody could really be, for those of you that are going to go with that side of the story. It could be somebody who's like a kitchen witch trying to pretend to be a witch. Even spells could be people talking crap about you, trying to convince people about what a horrible person you are. And it's not working, but it did seemingly slow your progress a little bit, or you felt like it was limiting you and keeping you from moving forward. So what's the crowning influence here? Oh, we got two cards. We've got the High Priestess upright. So the crowning influence is that you're using your intuition to see through this. And because I told you at the beginning of the reading that most of you are going to understand what kind of gifts you have, some of you are going to need to make a decision about what you're going to do next now that you do have this intuition. I'm not going to use that next card as the near future. So what's coming up next immediately? And look, it's so funny because in the Tarot of the Modern Witch, of course, the deck, the theme, we've got this little girl who's looking at all of these different things. We've got that odd blue hand that's like, I'm going to go to a protest. I'm going to fight the system. Well, maybe you do better taking some significant actions and petitions, trying to do something that you can do without getting in trouble with that Chariot card kind of sideways, which is also the law enforcement card for me. Okay, think about how you're going to use your intuition. Don't let it cloud your head or confuse you. All right, what's coming in the near future? All right. Queen of Cups. Very good. Honing in on your intuition. This could also be, if it's a person, a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces, feminine water energy, somebody very psychic, somebody very intuitive. Somebody could be somebody's mother. Somebody could just be very mothering. Somebody's going to turn to somebody like the Queen of Cups, or she comes into your life very soon. If this isn't a person and we're talking about an energy, this is somebody who's, you know, this energy, I should say, is an energy of nurturing, learning to nurture yourself, and maybe that's what you need to do. For example, you could be, um, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and have a Leo rising, and that's why you're here and you're being asked to look in the cup. Go ahead, look in the cup. The ocean could be significant for some of you. Mermaids could be significant, very significant ocean themes. You could live near the ocean. All right, for the current situation as it is, we've got the everything is fine card in reverse. Okay, so this is not the 10 of swords. This deck actually has two of these cards, and one of them is the everything is fine card. Again, kind of doom scrolling. Somebody really needs to watch that depression. Remember to get yourself some help when you feel like you're in a situation where you just can't stop doom scrolling and you're feeling worse and worse about yourself. And maybe you're coming out of this now. Please get up and move, even if it is to just the other room. Get out of the bed. If you're in bed, get yourself into the shower and take a shower. Start to move that energy around. Fight your head. Fight your head. If your head says, no, just go to bed. It's safer and it's warmer. And I'm going to, put on my oversized sweats with the built-in frickin' blind the world from my eyes because it's weighted material and I need a weighted blanket and I need to be hidden from that's what I'm saying. You guys have to develop a thicker skin. Get out and live your life. Don't hide from it. Wow, I feel like I'm lecturing somebody here. Okay. Everything is fine. What does it look like from the outside? We've got the world in reverse. For some of you, you're dealing with a situation that feels like it's never ending, or you, in a way, are projecting the energy, or people see you as not closing a cycle. Somebody needs to end the cycle. Somebody needs to tie this up. Somebody needs to, tie it off, be done with it, cauterize it, end it. If this is a job, you need to make a decision to not be clouded in your judgment anymore because your intuition has been telling you. Okay. It could be that you're just like, my boss isn't even such a horrible person, but I hate working with them. I can't be there anymore. I mean, I know I need to do something here with the Two of Wands, but I haven't really known what to do, and maybe you've been actively trying to look for another job, but you need to manifest that job by saying, I am going to get out of here. I am going to leave this job. Now, if it's a relationship, I don't see a whole lot of relationship happening here unless it is literally like a relationship of high significance, of a highly committed relationship with the emperor, then maybe you're making the decision like my instinct tells me to go. And maybe it doesn't look on the outside like I really need to, but I feel like I need to. Well, then you need to do what you need to do. Live for yourself first and love yourself first enough to respect yourself and what it is that you need. For the hopes and fears, now we've got the Magician in reverse. Cute little girl. So we've got the Magician here, but in the reverse. So you're feeling somewhat unable to affect this that you need to do. Maybe you're feeling like you're not ready, or you don't have enough education, you don't have enough money, you don't have the right tools, you don't have the right skills. Well, then make a concerted effort to start to take baby steps, right? Even if you're like, look, it's screwed. I'm going to go to the dollar store and get a job because working over here in this office is making me crazy. Well, then do that and then start to, so that you've got income, and then start to figure out, well, what kind of skills could I develop? What talents do I have that I could actually use? Okay. So it's not the February. Okay. So here we've got kind of like the title card. You are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. You need to find the path to your best self. That's first choosing yourself. Search inside yourself, Clarice. All right. And for the outcome, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So it looks like in February, you may feel like the beginning isn't going to be possible, that you don't have what you need to take that first leap, that first step, and that the divine isn't providing it to you. This is more like, it isn't that you don't have that, but in February, perhaps you're actually going to have to wait a little bit longer Okay, then, you might be like, good, Rita, I love your message. I'm boning out of this. I'm stopping that. No, this means that you need more planning, that the soil needs to be prepared for the seed, which is the Ace of Pentacles in this case, or that when the universe tells you it's time to go, that you're using your intuition and avoiding the Seven of Cups and paying attention to everything. You get yourself ready on the 3D first for whatever you need to do. You till the soil, okay, to prepare. You need to make plans and prepare, and then you launch. Let's get a summary card for this. Holy Spirit, tell us about wrapping up. Okay, so now we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So here is where the trickery that has been afoot. You need to be very careful with people around you. I'm not telling you to be fearful. This is just common sense, right? Good common sense. Be careful with people around you, possibly slander, could be libel, but the swords are communication. It doesn't necessarily have to be a real physical theft, although there's potential, right? We do have to say that's one of the meanings of the card, but that's kind of like the Five of Swords is right in your face and the Seven of Swords is behind your back. And another one had flipped over. So we're going to, two. We have the Lovers in reverse for the summary and the Moon in reverse. So, we just had that full moon in Leo in your sign, depending on where that is in your chart, you'll know. And that full moon in reverse is talking about not deluding yourself, because there could be, the creature of the Black Lagoon and, maybe things that really don't exist, and getting very jumpy and being afraid of everything, and, or, not planning properly, not paying attention to cycles like the cycle of the world in reverse that needs to close. And with the Lovers in reverse of, a risk of not making a decision at all. And it's right here next to that Two of Wands, which is needing to make a decision. Okay, so you need to plan. You need to plan. I think before we get to the names, let's get Sonia Choquette's Trust Your Vibes. This is another very old deck. I really, really love it. It has traveled with me from state to state, and it's a really, really cool one. Okay, so let's get something to tell us what kind of, oh, wow. Oh, did you see that? Okay, so before I could really get it on. Okay, we've got be flexible. That would make sense. You need to be flexible, which also means planning, right? If you think of this, the art on this card, the number 40 could be significant. Here we've got somebody who looks like they're flying on a trapeze in a way, right? Now, those types of aerial artists, they don't get to that level of proficiency by just deciding to jump on a rope. And okay, so flexibility is key. Some of you may need to be working out and getting more flexible, and getting yourself ready for the changing seasons and the warmer weather. But as it relates to whatever it is that you need to change and the decision you need to make, you need to plan. Okay, because just like the aerial artists, somebody's name could be Ariel, somebody's name could be Art. But as you are ready to reach out to somebody else, they need to be ready for you to receive you, and vice versa. All right. Let's get another one here. The number 3 is significant. Okay, so call on your angels. Absolutely. The archangels, the angels, your guardian angels, the angelic realm is right around you at all times. Do not doubt it. The number 13 could be significant. The number 31 could be significant. Do not doubt it. 2013 could have been significant for you. Whoa. And body talk. There's the third card. Number 7 could be significant to you. The 7th chakra could be significant. And we are talking about the 7th house. So listen to your body talk. Olivia Newton-John could be significant. The name Olivia could be significant as Newton and John. Let me hear your body talk, your body talk. Okay, so somebody needs to get physical, physical. I want to get physical. Let's get it. Okay, so somebody gets it, right? You need to get into your body, stay in your body. Since I did start off by talking about projecting outside of your body, you need to remember that while you are walking around in the physical 3D world and interacting with 3D everything, you need to stay in your body to be able to interact with it. When you put on your virtual reality headset, then you are working in a different dimension. But I need you to stay here in the 3D and not get all, soft on me, okay? Because we're talking about developing a thicker skin. And this again is, just I don't know, somehow this is coming out like a bit of a lecture. All right. So now you're getting a flavor of what it would have been like to have been raised by me. But I raised three boys and I didn't want any of them to have thin skin and I wanted them to be exactly who they want to be. And I wanted them to live their lives the way they wanted to live them. I wanted them to decide who they are, what they want, and how to get it, all while being great people. Okay. So let's get into some of these names. Where are we? I thought I pulled them out already. But I didn't because I don't want to. I have to use one that I haven't used already to make sure that we get a fresh batch of names. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air could be significant. All right. Honeymoon in reverse, eh? Okay, the honeymoon is over for some people, and some of you will get resonance from parts of that message, and some of you will not. Lord have mercy. I don't even want to think about that, but some of you will know. Okay, so we've got the name Brent is significant. And these cards don't have to flip any particular way. My hands just go into... Oh, I was just hearing something here. Somebody plays the trumpet, somebody plays the sax. Somebody wants to play the trumpet, somebody wants to play the sax, okay? All right, we've got the name Monique is significant. Brent and Monique. These are channeled names, and just know that, you don't have to take them a particular confirmation of any part of the message that's specific. And so don't worry about what I'm saying, that these names are just to give you significance, that there's something in here for you. If any of these names are of particular significance, if it means something to you, and it could be more to you than I know. What do I know? Nobody knows what I know. All right, let's see. All right. The name Hatch is significant. First, middle, or last for these names. Cheryl is significant. Let's go this way. We've got Steiner, got Cleo, we've got Peterson with an E, we've got Grayson, we've got Carly, Judas, Jamie with a Y, BJ as in a nickname. Now, I think I've only known one person ever in my life, and I thought it was quite different, that their actual name really was BJ. That's what I was told was on their birth certificate. I'm like, wow. Okay, that's going to confuse people. And, names are significant. Be careful what you name your children, because that, I believe, has an energetic vibration, if you want to call it that on the woo-woo side, but, can confuse the hell out of people. Somebody's name is Kira. Somebody's name is Elizabeth. Somebody's name is Hilda. Somebody's name could be Dana. We'll take these that flipped over. Somebody's name could be Goldie. We have Diana, Tammy. We have Wallen, Kenneth, Kendra. We have Anil, Laird, Broadhead, Elaine, Panagoitis, Robert, and Celine. Let's see if any more feel like they are. Somebody's name is Oswaldo. Somebody's name is Horace. Somebody's name is Austin. Anybody else want to come through? Any names for anybody that might be of particular resonance? Whoa, that one flew. The name Isle. Let me grab another little batch there because I feel like the energy has depleted. good because it was too exciting in the beginning. I was just like, wow. Okay. All right, let's see. We'll take these. Somebody's name is Roger. Somebody's name is Peridot. Somebody's name is Alexia. Somebody has blue cowboy boots. That's all I'm going to say. Blue cowboy boots. Cowgirl boots, actually. They kind of like look like roper boots, but not quite. Somebody is Jensen. Oh, gosh, I don't even want to say this. I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to. Why not? Why not just say it? Somebody wears thongs and doesn't have good personal hygiene. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know why sometimes they want me to know. Somebody's name is Maggie. Okay, I'm not going to take all of these, so we're going to kind of split that in half. All right, so somebody's name is Thorn. Somebody's name is, whoops, there could be two here. Savati, Eleni, Sunita, Xavier, Alice, Tay, Patricia, and Terrence. And because that was a little bit bizarre, let's see if we can get a couple more names if it feels like anything. I feel like I have to wrap it up with something. I think I'm going to wrap up that weird part of the message by getting a couple of channeled messages and see if that gives you any other bits that could help you close up these concepts, okay? We're just going to split it in the middle. Somebody's name is Chino, or somebody is un Chino, somebody wears Chino, or somebody's Chinese. All right, so let me scoop these up and get you, we might as well because it's been a little bit here. We've taken some time, and those were some pretty challenging messages. Carly flew out there. Carly is definitely significant in what I mean is to somebody, that name is of particular significance, Carly. Okay, so, oh, I was going to go to, oh, okay. Oh, let's see. This is such a huge deck, you know, the Enchanted Tarot. I've got a smaller version of it, but this one, I mean, it's huge. It makes it fun to look at, especially. This is Monty Farber and Amy Zerner. Amy Zerner's art, okay? All right, so we're going to take these three because they popped out very nicely. We have the Four of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Very good. Seven of Hearts in this deck. So we'll start with the Four of Swords. Okay, so you need to take a rest. You need to take a break to meditate on what I'm telling you, to think about this, and to breathe. Okay, you can find some apps there on Google Play or whatever platform you use for your phone, but whatever, you could just find some apps that teach you to breathe, how to do some rhythmic breathing. Some very controlled breathing will help you breathe through this. And the channeled message on here, now this one's got a detailed channeled message. These are messages that I have channeled. This could be about somebody that you are not in communication with. This is somebody that could be excommunicated. This is the way that I've channeled these things. We've also got somebody who's very insecure. Depression is an issue. An eating disorder could be an issue. Somebody is paranoid. Somebody's a meddler. What the hell is this? What? Oh, cannot make a decision. And there's a cheater watching you. Oh my gosh. And I just saw something on the floor. During one of my shuffles, I dropped a card and we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So here we've got the proverbial bitch of the deck. So we've got an air sign. This could be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, and she rears her head. So somebody here, an air sign is significant. In the reverse, she is a hyper bitch. This person could look like this. This person could have blonde hair. This person could just be a wench. Okay. So we're going to keep her over here. Very uncomfortable energy coming from that card. And then for the Eight of Pentacles, you know that the Eight of Pentacles is about your work. It's about your job. It's about what you do very well. It's about practicing what you do. And literally, practice makes perfect. And for this card, we've got somebody will fall from grace. The player played self into a corner. So, that's going to go right under here. Now this Queen of Swords in reverse could be the player attached to a player, part of a game that was played. Okay. And for that Seven of Hearts, which is the Seven of Cups in reverse, this is good news. You are free from this inability to make a decision, and so be it. Okay. Somebody in that mess, especially pertaining to the opening reading there, is in debt. There's a liability of some kind, jealousy at play again, shame, and there is a dark woman who is an enemy. All right, folks, that was a lot. I hope that helps. I hope you found it entertaining. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested. If you'd like me to read some of your comments, you can leave those below. I do get to them. And if you would like your own personal reading, if you'd like a pre-recorded video, if you'd like a coaching session or an astrology session, feel free to reach out to ritayanez.com. Love you guys. Take good care. God bless you.